Hey, beautiful souls, and welcome back to another session of the Sanctuary. This is our space for reflection, growth, and connection. I'm your girl and guide, Mariah Miles, licensed therapist, ordained minister, and overall creative. I'm super excited to continue to explore this month's connection. Today, we're going to focus on spiritual connection and how it relates to our place in the universe. And as we dive into that, I want to share that this topic feels particularly special as we approach my birthday week. Around birthdays, because I love birthdays, is a time for reflection and exploration, much like people do for New Year's, right? I'm really excited to bring you along on this journey. And of course, we continue to follow along with the prompts from my journal, Busy Minds, Peaceful Hearts. So let's sit back, relax, get a little cozy. It's time to tune in. Like I said, so we're reflecting on spirituality and connection. And I realize just how many of us are seekers. We're constantly searching for something that gives our lives meaning. And maybe that's just this new age or this generation or the time period that we're living in. There's often this sense of emptiness that many feel really present to in their lives. A whisper within us that says, I'm looking for something. And it's that curiosity that awakens us, prompting us to really explore what truly resonates within our hearts. And spirituality can have very different meanings for everyone. Am I right? Some find it through traditional practices, while others really connect with maybe nature or engage in personal rituals. But what's important is recognizing that being alive, well, that's purpose enough. We don't always need to have everything figured out. I remember my own journey with spirituality. Because growing up, I had the option to go to church. But I also, witnessed my father practicing a form of meditation by simply just being present in nature. We had these ponds in our backyard with really big koi fish. And he would watch them, or he would tend the garden or tend the yard. And I didn't really quite understand then what was happening for him until I was much older. When I said to him one day, actually, hey, Dad, I didn't realize you were meditating when I was a kid. And he said, yeah, that's what I was doing. My mom, on the other hand, when she would give me the option to go to church, it would be, or you can stay home and read, this passage, or you could read it while sitting outside or just being still. So they never actually labeled it, but the sense was there. My mother was pretty big on combining her spirituality and her religious beliefs. And I think my parents modeled a lot of my curiosities, as well as others did. But it's really those moments that taught me spirituality doesn't have to be confined to a building. It can be found in stillness, connection with the earth, or even creative expression. But each of us, we have a very unique spiritual journey, and it's shaped by our experiences and our beliefs. And it's really essential to explore what resonates with you personally. And so this will be an ongoing invitation today that I encourage you to reflect on your experience. And perhaps you pause and you reflect on your first experiences with spirituality. Who introduced you to those beliefs? How did they feel? For me, there was a pivotal moment in my 9th grade theology class when my teacher told me, or more so encouraged me, to explore my own beliefs, letting me know that I didn't have to conform to any one path, which I got to tell you is pretty big because I was going to a Catholic prep high school at the time. It was unexpected, and she surprised me. And it was that reinvigorated my curiosity and allowed me to really seek my own understanding. As we connect with ourselves, we can also connect with all of the energy around us. And when we're in that tender, vulnerable space, it's like the energy flows through us. Am I right? Do you know what I'm talking about? It's reminding us of our interconnectedness with everything. Have you ever felt that? And while being part of a community can offer foundational structure and support, it's also really important to remember that spirituality is deeply personal. You can create your own practices that feel authentic to you. Maybe it's meditation or movement or simply being in nature, or maybe there's no name for it. So we know that my path has been filled with a lot of curiosity. I'm just naturally a curious person. I ask so many questions. It can be annoying sometimes. That's not my intention. I'm just curious. And my path has also been filled with exploration because I'm more of an experiential learner. And it's also been filled with that desire to understand those foundational pieces of spirituality. And there was this significant moment from my childhood that also sparked my spiritual curiosity. But this time I was much younger. It was about 7, maybe I was in 2nd grade. And I had this close friend who I really enjoyed going to her house. She had a cat with one eye and a really cool, dollhouse. But that's not the only reason. I enjoyed being in her company. And I felt a really genuine connection with her. I enjoyed spending time at her home. But then there came a period of time where I couldn't go to her home anymore. One day, her family had informed my parents that I could no longer be friends with their daughter because we practiced different religions. And at the time, I was too young to fully understand all of the implications of that. but the experience, it left an imprint on me. I often wondered, why does religion create barriers between people? And I wasn't maybe wondering that at 7, but that started my curiosity of that question, of that inquiry. This early experience igniting a curiosity within me, right? About how we can connect with the others regardless of our beliefs. It made me question the boundaries that we set and the ways in which they can separate us. My journey continued as I explored various philosophies and practices, learning about compassion or interconnectedness or the importance of acceptance. All foundational teachings that really provided a solid grounding, a solid place for me to bounce off, that really helped me understand some of the principles that unite us. And as I grew, I realized that spirituality isn't just about adhering to these dogmas. It's also about embracing freedom. The freedom to explore, to question, to engage with the ideas in a playful way. Sometimes we're so rigid in our thought that we forget to be playful. And there's a beautiful energy that flows through this exploration when we allow ourselves the freedom to embrace spirituality without rigid constraints. We open ourselves to these new insights and experiences. It's more fluid and adaptable. It becomes more of this, almost like a dance, instead of a strict routine. This interplay between the foundational understanding and the freedom to explore, I think that's what's enriched my spiritual journey. It's taught me that spirituality can be dynamic, and it's really evolved alongside my life experiences. I go back to what I said at the beginning, right? Can just living be our purpose? I encourage you to reflect on your own spiritual journeys. What are some of the foundational pieces that have shaped your understanding? How can you embrace this freedom to explore and to play with those ideas? You see, it's deeply personal, this exploration of spirituality. So even though it's quite personal, this exploration, sometimes we don't know where to begin because it can look so different for everyone. But here are some, I want to say, heartfelt strategies to help you explore and strengthen this aspect of your life. So one of them would be mindfulness practices, because engaging in mindfulness and meditation can allow you to connect with your inner self. And you could just start with a few minutes each day, focusing on your breath and allowing thoughts to come and go without any judgment. And This practice can really help you feel grounded and really aware of your spiritual essence, because it's in the being still where things can flourish, can come out and grow into what they were meant to. And so maybe you write this down, but maybe you consider a simple practice of literally just sitting quietly. And maybe you use your imagination, and I'm not going to walk you through a whole meditation, but maybe you write this down and you sit with it in your practice, but using your imagination to visualize a light that surrounds you and connects you to everything around you. And just imagine that that light expands with each breath, and that it's reminding you of your interconnectedness. So that's an option that you can be curious about. Another idea might be acts of service, because serving others can really deepen our spiritual connection. And this doesn't have to be like a really big grand gesture, but even something small, like can really create a ripple of positivity. Maybe you're volunteering at a local charity, or maybe you're helping a neighbor. So just kind of reflect on how these actions might make you feel connected to your community, maybe the larger human experience. You could take a mindful walk, because spending time in nature really enhances our spiritual connection. It reminds us of our place in the universe. It could be in the park, hike somewhere. It's rattlesnake season, so be safe. Just simply sitting outside can also be an option. Allowing yourself to absorb all the beauty that is around you. Paying attention to the sights and the sounds and the smells. Considering how every element in nature is interconnected. Just like you. Just like me. Just like us. Another option would be kind of exploring your creativity. Because as you explore your creativity, you're also exploring your spirituality. So this could be through art or writing or music or dance or cooking. But engaging in creative activities allows for that self-expression. And that can also help you tap into those deeper feelings and insights. And the last thought would be, and this is not the end-all be-all, right? You can come up with things on your own. These are just suggestions to support you in being curious. But you can also seek out a spiritual community or a community group that resonates with your values. And if you're not sure quite what your values are, I definitely would tune into that. But engaging with others who share really similar beliefs can also really deepen your sense of belonging and support and build your confidence so that you can listen to your inner voice a little bit more. And you can do this by going to a class or a group, or be a class that focuses on spirituality. That'd be cool. Just attending a local workshop. You can even do this online. I've seen them. But connecting with like-minded individuals can really provide that inspiration and new perspective. But remember, as you're nurturing spiritual connections, it's really about being open to experiences that resonate with you. Allowing yourself to explore what feels right for you. Because sometimes we can hear the whisper more clearly when we take out the resistance. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like someone drags you to a place and they say, oh, I love this, come with me. And you're like, I don't want to be here. I do not want to be here. And so since you already have that thought, I don't want to be here, you are missing some of your blessings. What if there's something there for you, but you put up the wall to protect yourself from whatever it is you don't want to be near? As you engage in these practices, maybe you take the time to reflect on your experiences. What feelings arise? How do these activities enhance my sense of connection, your sense of connection, right? Be curious. Stay curious. So let's take this reflection into our somatic practice today. Today's practice is a movement meditation. The aim is to help you connect with your body and release any tension while fostering a sense of freedom. So if you're able, I invite you to find a quiet space where you can move freely without distractions. You can either stand or sit comfortably. And as you settle in, gently allow yourself to take a few deep breaths. Inhaling deeply through your nose, feeling your lungs expand. And as you exhale, gently open your mouth and slowly release the breath. And bringing your awareness to your body, just allow yourself to initiate intuitive movement. This could be swaying side to side, stretching, or maybe even walking slowly. Just allow yourself to focus on the sensations in your body as you move. Paying attention to how each part feels in rhythm with the breath. Letting go of any specific goals or outcomes. Simply allowing your body to gently express itself naturally. Asking yourself, how does my body want to move? And just letting it do what it does. And allowing yourself yourself to continue this movement, maintaining any awareness of how your body feels and any emotions that may arise. Notice if certain movements resonate more deeply with you, or if any feelings come to the surface. Just noticing what this feels like. Are you in your head? Can you bring yourself back to the present? How connected do you feel to this space? What are the edges of your feet connected to? And what are they doing? How does your body want to move? Is the breath guiding you? Just notice what this feels like. And maybe you're in your flow and you want to continue. So I invite you to pause this and continue. Maybe you put a song on and allow yourself to just move with that space, whatever comes to you, and just return to us. And when you feel ready, gradually returning to stillness, taking a moment to tune into your breath, reflect on your experience. What did you notice about your body? What did you notice about your emotions during this practice? As you settle back into stillness, allow yourself to take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, acknowledge the connection you fostered within yourself through this movement. Recognizing our interconnectedness really helps cultivate this sense of empathy, right? Compassion for ourselves and others. And so I encourage you to take time this week to continue to nurture your spiritual connections, whether that's through mindfulness or personal rituals or engaging with nature or whatever it is. But just allow yourself that gift. Embrace the beauty of being part of something larger. I think about the idea of us being this drop of water. And so if you could imagine yourself just standing in front of the vast ocean, right? And imagine that you are the drop of water that returns back to the sea. The interconnectedness. There's something larger. Thank you for joining me today. Being present here in my reflection of spirituality and connection. And I really hope this session inspires you to explore your place in the universe and deepen those connections. And feel free to share this with someone that you think might need to experience it. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a session here at the Sanctuary. But until next time, embrace each breath and remember, our bodies have this innate wisdom, the beautiful ability to heal itself, and we heal best in community. Love and light. Peace, y'all. While this podcast may feel like a therapeutic conversation, it is important to note that it is not a substitute for professional therapy or mental health. The information shared here is intended solely for educational purposes and should not be used as a replacement for personalized mental health care. Although I am a therapist, I'm not acting as your therapist in this setting. If you are in need of support, please reach out to a qualified mental health professional.